back to Simply Home and Harvest. I'm Jen. We're actually on our way to church on this beautiful Sunday morning, but I wanted to let you know a little bit about the video that's coming up today. I'm actually cooking up a brand new recipe, one that our family really enjoyed, and then also we're going to take you along with us to our hometown Christmas parade. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. What's for dinner is a phrase I hear quite often in our house. In fact, most days around 3 o'clock I'll get a text asking what's for dinner. So easy and some quick recipes is definitely what I look for. This Fiesta Bake that we're making today is one that you could probably pull from the items in your pantry using what you have and create a delicious dinner for your family. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna go ahead and get 1 pound of ground beef in our skillet to cook, because this dinner is going to take almost an hour to cook, or right at an hour. So I need to go ahead and get started on it so that the family's not waiting for dinner. They might end up waiting for dinner anyway. But my beef is still slightly frozen, so I meant to start this a little bit earlier. And then we've got our oven is already preheated to 375 degrees. Have I been told y'all what we're making tonight? I'm telling you, this has been one more day. It's been one more day. It started out crazy with a chicken debacle. We've had freezing temperatures at night, so that means frozen water for the chickens in the mornings. So we have to go down there and we have to, make sure they have fresh water that's not frozen. Well, we've had a kind of a rhythm and a routine of how we've been doing it, but the water container was completely frozen. We couldn't get the lid off to refill their water. So that took a while. And while I was occupied with that, I accidentally left the run door open and they got out, and we really didn't have time for them to be out this morning because I had not even had breakfast. The kids hadn't had breakfast. I hadn't had my coffee. I mean, there were so many things we wanted to do before we let the chickens out, and that was my mistake. They got out. Took us a while to get them back in. Then I've been having issues with my phone and storage, so I spent all morning doing that. And then I've been having issues getting into the Cricut because of issues with my phone. And so it was just a full day. It's been a full day of problems, but everything worked out because the chickens got back in the run and we got their water unfrozen for them, and we got breakfast, and I had coffee. Now, granted, I was finishing my breakfast and coffee at 11:30 this morning, but I had it. And I've got a temporary fix for my phone right now. I was able to get into the Cricut design space, so everything worked out. And it should be a reminder to me in the future to stay calm, because it's all going to be okay. It's not a big deal. But I still haven't told you what we're cooking, have I? All right. So we're having Fiesta Bake is the name of the dish. My friend Melody, she gave me this recipe a couple weeks ago. She made it for her family, and she said, I really think I would like it. I think it's something that Tim would like, and she knows he's a little picky. So she even hand wrote it out herself. So I am going to go off of her recommendation. I've never made it before, but if she likes it, I trust her judgment completely. So we're going to try it out together for the first time. And first off, we need to brown our meat. So we're browning 1 pound of ground beef. This is our local ground beef that we got this past summer. I love having on hand. I hope that we can do that every year, because that has been just such a blessing. And while that is heating up, I've already got 1 1/4 cup of rice measured out. Now, our recipe calls for a can of green chilies, which I believe is about 4 ounces, and I don't have that on hand. So I'm going to use what I thought would be a close substitute, and that is banana peppers. I'm also going to throw in a couple of jalapeno peppers, just maybe 1, because I think that'll be really good. That'll add some heat. So I'm going to do that. And I just realized that I forgot to get some stuff when I went downstairs to our food storage. So we've got to go get all of those, and we'll be right back. All right, now that we have our meat browned, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off because we are going to add in our taco seasoning. Now this calls for a pack of taco seasoning, but my husband is not a fan of taco seasoning. I know that's not a surprise to y'all. So I am only going to put a little bit in, and we're not gonna tell him, and hopefully he won't find out. But we gotta season the meat a little bit. Also, if you're gluten-free, you have to pass this step too, I believe. That taco seasoning has gluten in it. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I was thinking maybe it does. So double check on that if you are gluten-free, because this recipe would be gluten-free except for that. So you could always change your ingredients up. Okay. And that's all we're gonna use. I'm just gonna seal this up, put it in a little Ziploc bag for another time. Okay, now we're gonna add all of our ingredients except for the cheese. So the next thing that goes in is our 1 1/4 cup of rice. That's stirred in. We might not have a big enough pot here. We're gonna pour this into our casserole dish, but I was trying to eliminate having to transfer everything to a bowl. I don't know if I can do it or not. You know, I don't think I'm gonna be able to, so I am going to transfer this into, so I'm gonna transfer this into my bowl. Because that might save us a bigger mess than washing an extra dish. Now I did not drain the meat because I use a very lean meat, and so it doesn't produce a lot of grease. So I did not feel the need to do that. But if you use, you know, a heavier fat meat, you might want to drain off your grease. Okay, next we're gonna add in our chilies. And remember, I did not have any green chilies. This would be a 4-ounce can of green chilies, but I just diced up some banana peppers and a couple of jalapeno rings. And hopefully that will be pretty close to our green chilies. I felt like it would be, and actually like the flavors of these peppers a little bit better than green chilies, so it might actually be a good addition. All right, next I'm going to add a can of corn that I have drained. We're gonna add 1 can of black beans. Now I rinsed my black beans. I drained them first and rinsed them. That's just something I like to do when it comes to black beans. And then we're gonna add in a 1.5 cups of Chunky Salsa is what it calls for, but I'm gonna use my salsa that we canned this summer. I had a little bit in a jar that I need to use. I'm just gonna eyeball this. That's probably about 1/4 cup. And then we'll just add, I want to add the whole thing, but we'll leave a little bit for some chips and salsa. That's probably not quite 1.5 cups, so we'll see how the consistency is, and we might go back and add in a little bit more. All right, then we're gonna add 1 cup of chicken broth. And that's it for our ingredients. I'm excited to try this. I love to try new recipes. I think I will add a little bit more salsa just because we're gonna need that extra liquid to cook our rice. So if I have to go back down and grab another jar of salsa, I will. I'm just gonna add the whole thing. All right. We're definitely gonna have our 1.5 cups. But that makes me feel better because I think it needed it. And I'm glad we switched to this bowl. So we've almost filled our bowl. All right, now we're gonna get everything into our casserole dish. This is a 9x13 casserole dish. I did go ahead and grease this. Almost think I could use a bigger dish. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this into our preheated 375-degree oven. We're gonna bake this for 50 minutes. Then we're gonna take it out. We're gonna top it with some shredded cheese, and we're gonna put it back in until our cheese is melted. All right, you know what? I'm glad I looked because we are supposed to cover this dish. So let's not skip that step. We'll get it covered with aluminum foil. And now we can bake it. Y'all, my family is so patient when it comes to me making these videos, especially dinner videos. And then they have to wait for sometimes a little bit longer for dinner because it does take longer to film and cook than to just straight out cook. So I thought it would be a fun idea to make like a little appetizer for them. So Ella's on her way home from dance, so she's probably gonna have an appetite. And when Tim comes home, he's ready to eat. So I think I'm gonna put out some chips and salsa, and I'll see what else I can find and maybe make like a little, I don't know, it'll be a very simple and unplanned charcuterie board, if you will, if you wanna call it that. But I thought that would be, we'll try that. We'll see if that will appease them, and maybe it'll be a little peace offering to them so that they're not so angry with me when they have to wait for dinner. And just in case he doesn't like the fact that we put a little bit of taco seasoning in there. Pretty proud of myself for attempting to make my family happy while I finished dinner. I think it turned out really cute, so we'll see. Well, I may just enjoy all this myself. I forgot how good these sweet chili chips are from Aldi. They're so delicious. And with the salsa that we canned, oh my goodness. It's gonna make me happy if it doesn't make anybody else happy. This is a fun way to use what you have to provide a little pre-dinner appetizer and some good conversation as well. I mean, if we missed our free throws, we ran laps. Yeah. And not just the one person that missed the free throws. The whole team ran laps. However many free throws were missed on the whole team, everybody ran laps. Yep.
Make free throws.
That's right. We learned how to make our free throws. Sure did. Smells incredible. So we're just gonna sprinkle our shredded cheese on top, and I went ahead and shredded some Monterey Jack and some sharp cheddar. You can use whatever you prefer. I like the Monterey Jack for any kind of Mexican dishes, but really any kind I'm sure would be delicious on this. All right, so it's going to go back into our oven for about 5 to 10 minutes until that cheese has melted on top. Well, would y'all believe that dinner is done and Tim is not even home yet? But I must say, I think the little appetizer tray or charcuterie, I don't know if it's fancy enough to be a charcuterie, but I think that was a hit for the teenagers anyway. He missed the hors d'oeuvre hour. We were trying to get fancy. Alex came up, he was like, wow, we're fancy tonight. Yes, we are. Oh well, maybe next time. So I just wanted to give you an update on the Fiesta Bake. I thought that it was delicious. It's
good.
It's definitely something I'll be making again. 4 for 4, everybody liked it. Alex wasn't crazy about the black beans, but I told him next time I'll just make him his own little dish without the black beans, because it was plenty where I could have split it up like that. So definitely going to not write it down. I'm definitely going to keep that one in my recipe binder. Thank you, Melody, for sharing that with us. And yeah, make sure you try that. Very, very good. So we're at our hometown local parade tonight, and it's cooler than we thought. It was like 60 degrees today, and so we come out here, and now it's, I don't know, feels like 30, but the wind is blowing really so cold. Santa Alex here beside me. Anyway, cut that out. should get one. Yeah, that's right. You enjoyed today's video. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. I'd love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button so that I know you're there and can continue bringing you content here on YouTube. So until next time, friends, remember to live simply, use what you have, and enjoy the moments you've been given. See you in the next one.